just like that, a whole new world. Look at this. This is Ocean Cay. Damn, dude. So picturesque.
And here we are on MSC's private island, Ocean Cay. And of course I found a whole bunch of our group, where else but the bar, where we had the most quintessential tropical cruise ship cocktails, pina coladas. Just some quick, sloppy pina coladas. And when you're on this kind of island, with this kind of scenery, who the hell is bummed on that? I found Ocean Cay to kind of be like the Disney World equivalent of a real tropical island. I mean, it was a real tropical island, but it was like the idealized version of a tropical island. We had been to Cozumel, we had been to Jamaica, and I mean, those are real places with real issues like potholes and graffiti and, things that come along with life when it's not an idealized island paid for by a cruise ship company. And while a big portion of our group decided to go snorkeling and lounging at the beach, we decided we were gonna go paddleboarding when we were promptly told that it was too windy to go paddleboarding. But we found a little dude. Look at this guy. He's just like a little crab guy.
This is the pineapple bar, maybe? I don't know. I like the little sign though. I like the ethereal music. It's Scott's favorite.
Piped all through the island.
Piped all through the island. It's beautiful.
There's little speakers everywhere.
Oh. Miami is 65 miles away. Just 65.
That's it?
Yeah.
And while most everybody was on the other side of the island, we found our own little paradise here on the other side of Scott. Just the most beautiful water, no waves or anything, just like an idyllic setting. So we had our cocktails here, went for a swim.
Dude, here we are at a postcard location. Just so beautiful. And everybody else is out there. I already went for a swim, but dude, how fun. Just picturesque. Picturesque.
After our little beach day there, we heard about the Lighthouse bar that was supposed to have Hemingway something, Hemingway daiquiris, or it was called the Hemingway bar or something. I don't know where actually we got that from because looking at the website now, I don't see any Hemingway anything on there, so. But I mean, can you imagine them making Hemingway daiquiris? No. They're good at pina coladas. Oh, and then the girls found this giant chair, so they had to get a couple of fun pics on the giant chair in front of the cruise ship and the lighthouse. While we were heading over to the Lighthouse bar, let me just explain what Ocean Cay is. It's a private island in the Bahamas owned by MSC Cruises. It has a fascinating history dating back to the 1960s when it was used as an industrial sand excavation site. But over the years, the island was transformed from an environmental wasteland into a thriving marine reserve, an eco-friendly retreat. So today, Ocean Cay is a tropical paradise featuring white sandy beaches, crystal clear waters, and vibrant coral reefs. Visitors can enjoy snorkeling, paddleboarding, beachfront cabanas, and the island's iconic lighthouse. And here we are at the lighthouse, which lights up at night with a mesmerizing laser show.
We're at the Lighthouse bar right now. We thought it was the Hemingway bar, but there's no Hemingway daiquiri on the menu. A lot of good treats and stuff, but it's essentially the cruise ship is on the beach. So it's just kind of more pina coladas, which is not a bummer, but as a cocktail show, you'd like to have a nice cocktail sometime.
From there, we went and got lunch at this kind of giant outdoor cafeteria with these giant hanging fish and sea creatures from the ceiling. I liked this a lot. It was kind of fun. And the food, dude, the food was so good. It was so good. But I just couldn't get over the sights. It was like a postcard. And as somebody who has traveled a bunch for surfing, I still have never seen water this blue before in my life. It's just insane. And isn't it wild to think that a floating hotel can just pull up to an island like this? We finally ran into some of our other friends who were just hanging out in a cabana. Everybody just enjoying rum on the beach. Man, I tell you, this was such a chill afternoon. And one of my favorite parts of the whole trip. So we headed back to the ship to get cleaned up after the beach, have a sunset cocktail, and say farewell to Ocean Cay.
Hands off.
Keep going. Have you walked through this thing yet? Across this thing? How do you feel about that?
Feels weird.
We were trying to find the perfect spot on the boat to watch the sun dip into the sea. You know what Ocean Cay felt like to me? It felt like Jurassic Park. Like so themed out. I just know, no dinosaurs, but it felt like that kind of thing. And I don't mean that as a bad thing. It was just like an amusement park island. Everybody planned to meet up at the top cocktail bar for one last toast on the ship. Because tomorrow was the end.
All right, it is Morticia's birthday. Oh, and here we go again. Yep.
Solid, happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
I'm happy to be here with you. Thank you.
No big deal.
It was about that time that we realized that we started moving. Look at all the swirls in the water from the sideways thrusters. I guess that's what they are, maybe? I don't know. And we were off. Sadly, we never got to see the laser show. They weren't doing the laser show that night because of equipment failure or something. But it's all right. We had a great time at Ocean Cay. And as the night wore on, more of our cruise buddies joined us. It's funny how quickly we all kind of bonded on this trip. And it's like it happens every time we do one of these cruises.
Cheers, guys.
Wait, which one?
So many cocktails. Another one, too. Bye-bye, Pinup Palmer. Bye-bye, Crazy Owl.
You gotta take a full video.
Bye-bye, Sparky. I'll see you soon.
And then it was the bags in the hallway, the ultimate sign that it was over.
Cheers.
My name is Yogi from Bali.
It's over. The cruise is over.
Yeah, crossover.
And just like that, we were back in Miami. Not exactly the picturesque island landscape of the Bahamas, but here we are. And I'd say we're all done, but we have one more thing before this trip is over. We're back at the co-owner room.
Honestly, after all of that drinking for like 7 days on that cruise ship, the last thing I wanted to do was go to a tiki bar. But once we were at the tiki bar, it was like the last thing I wanted to do was leave the tiki bar. And since this was going to be a private event just for us, and it was before business hours for the ka-owner room, we were waiting in the former location of Izorako. But eventually, they let us in. This was the first trip to the ka-owner room for a lot of our Cruise-tonians. By the way, I should have mentioned that's what we call the members of the cruise, Cruise-tonians. Like Breezetonians, except for the cruise. But as we entered, who should I find behind the bar but my old buddy Billy. Billy Dallapola, a great bartender, super solid. It was great to be back in one of my favorite tiki bars with a whole group of my friends from the cruise. And it was nice to know that we were gonna have great cocktails once again, because you get pretty used to like the cruise cocktails, which are, they're fine, but they're certainly not the craft cocktail experience of a place like the ka-owner room. Morticia and Shannon found their spot on the throne up there by themselves. People were taking photos, finding their spots, enjoying each other's company, and it was just a matter of time before cocktails on fire and dry ice would fill the room. Now, we made sure to prioritize people who were going to be leaving for the airport first. They got their cocktails before anybody else. But that was the sad reality of this little get-together. I mean, it was bittersweet. As the afternoon wore on, more and more people had to say goodbye, and emotions kind of ran high. Like, it was emotional. And after spending a week with these people, it felt unreasonably sad to see them go. But strangers arrived as strangers and left as genuine friends, which is really the essence of the Breezeway cocktail cruise, forming strong connections by sharing an extraordinary experience together. It's really very special. Now, I've always said that there are very few cocktail bars that even compete with the Kaona Room when it comes to cocktail presentation and showmanship. They do such a good job of this like tableside spinning cocktail on fire presentation thing. It's pretty impressive. And dry ice. I don't think there's any bar in the country that goes through as much dry ice as the Kaona Room does. But it's just like so dramatic. Speaking of dramatic, look at Morticia here. And just for a brief moment, the door to the outside was open and you can see in good light how incredible these cocktails look. One of my favorites at the Kaona Room is the clarified zombie. It comes with this long piece of ice and just like a heaping of Angostura bitters on top.
Damn, dude. It's a tangy bitch.
The other cocktail that I love at the Kaona Room that they garnish impeccably is the Navy Grog. Look at that, ice cone and all.
Who ordered this? Pineapple bowl of happiness?
Everyone ready?
Yeah.
This little touch.
All right. Okay. Don't light me on fire, please.
I'm gonna point it this way. I don't want to burn your camera.
Thank you. Whoa. Pineapple bowl of fire.
One wish to make. One big wish.
Gorgeous.
Do I blow it out?
Cheers, everyone.
Thank you very much.
And with that, everybody got to slurp off of the giant pineapple bowl of happiness. Everyone was having a fantastic time, cheersing the good times that we had just experienced. There were cocktails all around bursting into flames, dramatic billows of dry ice smoke, and look at this garnish, an ice skull garnish. It's amazing. It was an absolute blast, and having the entire place to ourselves made it just like that much more special. But as the afternoon went on, a bittersweet feeling crept in. And more people kept leaving for the airport to make their flights. We all knew that the trip was winding down and reality was starting to set in. Every time somebody new would stand up like they're getting ready to leave, like the whole room would go, oh no, not George. It was like they were going off to war or something. But with everything sad going on, all of a sudden we looked up and our buddy Nino was over there having his own like cocktail party on fire. It is so funny. And then one last shot to commemorate the cruise. But eventually it came time for us to leave. And that was it. It was like, that was the end of the whole trip. So I hope you've enjoyed this series on the Breezeway Cocktail Cruise. Once again, there is a ticket link in the description below. The next Breezeway Cocktail Cruise sets sail from Fort Lauderdale, Florida on June 9th to the tropical ports of Bimini and Nassau. It's a 4-day cruise and it's gonna be a lot of fun. So I hope you can join us. Be part of the Cruisetonian family. And if you enjoyed watching this, here's a link to last year's cruise. All right, I hope you can join us. Aloha.